All right, ladies, let's talk about fiber for a minute. Let's talk about the importance of fiber, some sources of fiber, and ways to mindfully increase your fiber for ultimate benefits, results, and for ultimate gut health. So, all about fiber. Fiber, as you probably know, is beneficial for regular stools, regular bowel movements. Anytime, if you've ever been constipated, it's all about increasing your fiber. You may have taken fiber supplements at some point. You may have even taken a laxative that was a form of fiber. Fiber is beneficial way beyond just regular trips to the bathroom, but that is a big part of it, right? But we're going to talk about some of the other benefits that you may not be aware of. The first one is that it improves your blood sugar. So, fiber actually helps us metabolize glucose so that we're able to use the sugar that we're taking in, the carbohydrates that turn to glucose, and we're able to use it more effectively and more efficiently. This is going to help not only with energy production, mood, all the other amazing benefits of carbs. It's also going to help control our cravings and it's going to help control our fullness. It's also going to help you feel fuller longer just because of the types of foods that you're consuming in order to increase your fiber, in order to pay attention to that as well. So, improving satiety goes for double whammy there, and actually the volume of the food and the way your body is actually processing different macronutrients, fiber being a micronutrient. The third biggest thing here is that it improves your overall gut health as well. They've done a lot of research to show how fiber is actually improving the quality of our microbiome, the bacteria in our gut. And as you may already know, your gut bacteria communicates directly with your brain. So, a lot of the cues that we're getting from our body, a lot of the ways that we're feeling, even our hormones, is going to be influenced by the actual amount of fiber that we take in. So, it is super important. One thing before I move on to types of fiber and sources is I want to make sure if you are using something like MyFitnessPal to track your food, is that you've gone into your settings and you have switched off net carbs. We want to make sure that we're tracking total carbs. Why? Net carbs are actually removing carbs away from the total carbohydrates to make the carbohydrates look lower, but we're not actually getting credit if we're paying attention to the grams of fiber that we're getting. You're not getting the credit for the fiber. This is something that you may have also noticed when reading nutritional labels. I see it a lot in protein bars. They're actually giving you net carbs, so like super low carbs, and it has to do with how they're calculating the fiber in. So making sure that we're paying attention, we're reading food labels, we're not just taking the highlights that they put on food labels for face value. We're actually paying attention to what we're taking into our body. All right, so types of fiber and sources. So the two major types of fiber, we have insoluble fiber and we have soluble fiber. Essentially, what this means is insoluble is not going to dissolve in water, soluble is. So, insoluble fiber can help with stool softening. So, this is what helps your gut. This is secrete water. So, this is what's going to get the softening stool, help make us regular, so on and so forth. Sources of this are going to be your leafy greens, legumes. So, think about beans, things like that, whole wheat, and things like wheat bran. So this is an important part of just, we don't want to stay backed up, right? We want to process the food that we're taking in. We want our body to use the things that it needs and get rid of the waste. So this is an important part of helping your body function optimally, helping you feel optimal, and helping you to continue to be able to process your nutrients. Soluble fiber does dissolve in water, and this is the one that's going to help with that blood sugar regulation that I mentioned on the previous slide. So lots of sources of fiber here, like oats, barley, shiitake mushrooms are another one. I'm not a mushroom fan, but if you are, that's good for you. Things like bananas, oats are one of my favorite, whole wheat, asparagus, apples, cooked potatoes, sweet potatoes. The skin is actually a really good source. Rice and other types of starches are really good ways to increase your fiber. So let's talk about ways to increase your fiber and what we want to look at. First thing is first, before I even get there, is I want you to take inventory of what you're already taking in. This is where people make huge mistakes going from, 10 grams of fiber to taking it all the way up to 25. This is going to lead you to bloating, gas, discomfort, probably even some loose bowel movements and overall discomfort. So just like anything else, we want to take what we're doing and we want to incrementally increase it for optimal results. So, ways to increase your fiber. Take a look at what you're already doing. This is such an easy thing to do, but something that I see so many struggle with. And honestly, this is something that I've struggled with myself. Anytime that I'm tracking my food to get data, I kind of look at, oh, what do I need to change up versus what am I already doing that's getting me the result that I want, that I can just do more of, or I can pay more attention to. So paying attention, if you notice as you're tracking throughout your weeks that you have a couple of days that you're right on target and several days that you're not, what are you doing on the days that you're on target? What are you consuming to get your fiber to where it needs to be? And how can you sprinkle that into the rest of the days of your week so that you can have more consistency? Of course, we want consistency in all things that we do, but fiber can be something that's really, really important to develop that consistency with. Okay. Secondly, we can start to add more vegetables to our meals. So, again, looking at what you're already doing, how can we just add and build upon that? Could you add some veggies to your breakfast? I know people always look at me like I have, three eyes when I say this, but it's really simple to take some veggies from dinner and just reheat them in the morning and add them to your breakfast. Again, looking back at the benefits of fiber, the way we metabolize our glucose, as well as keeping us fuller longer, keeping us regular, all the things. There's lots of benefits to sprinkling fiber throughout your day rather than getting towards the end of the day and feeling like you need to slam 25 grams of fiber. I promise you, if you do that, you are going to wind up feeling bloated. You are going to wind up feeling absolutely miserable. So, looking at how you can add veggies to your meals. Now, if you are just completely against adding vegetables to your breakfast at this time, you can do things like add fruit. Fruit are another source of fiber as well. So just looking at what you're consuming for breakfast, seeing if you can add a little bit more fiber there. Perhaps you are going to add in some oatmeal. There's all kinds of different ways to add in little bits of fiber all throughout your meals, and you can kind of see how it can get really, really simple. We want to start with a target of 25 grams. We can take that all the way up to 40 grams. But if you look at the bigger picture, 25 grams, if we are having 3 meals and 2 snacks, that's only 5 grams per time that we're eating. So this is really, really doable. So looking at what you're already eating and how you can just add 5 grams at a time will be really, really beneficial in helping you get that number up. The next one is eating whole food carb sources. This is a big one. So we've talked about carbs, the difference between simple carbs, complex carbs. We have processed carbs, and then we have our whole food carb sources. So thinking like sweet potatoes, thinking about those vegetables, bananas, different things like that. Eating whole food carb sources are going to help us stay on track with our carbs and help us get all the way up to our fiber goal. The last one, review your snack choices. So again, can you add vegetables to your snack? Can you add some fruit to your snack? Can you just add whole food carb sources? So again, this all works together. Take a look at what you're doing. How can you add some veggies, some fruit to the meals that you're already consuming? How can you eat more whole food carb sources? How can you make sure that your snacks include a little bit of fiber as well to balance it and sprinkle it throughout the day so you're not feeling like you have to take it all in one chunk? Again, simple carbs, complex carbs. Getting your carb sources from these whole food sources are going to be huge in helping you get that fiber number up. Again, consistency over perfection every single time. I would much rather you get your fiber numbers consistently to 20 grams, even 15 grams every single day rather than have spikes of 40 and then tanking back down to 10. That's going to help your gut so much. It's going to help you with your blood sugar. It's going to help you with your blood pressure. It's going to help you stay fuller longer. And I guarantee you're going to feel so much better in terms of your energy, in terms of your brain fog, how you're feeling mentally, emotionally. All the things are connected to fiber. I know it sounds like, fiber is the magic bullet right here, but I promise you, just paying a little bit more attention to this macronutrient, it's going to make all the difference in the world in your goals, your results, and how you feel overall.